Everybody, so I wanted to start this live for anybody who has questions about fitness, nutrition, dieting, losing weight, gaining weight, supplements, anything like that. I'm opening up the floor. You can ask me anything while I meal prep. You guys have any questions about anything? Just a little backstory on me. Most of my life, I was super skinny. I only weighed like 112 pounds, soaking wet, for most of my life. Until about 2020, you know, when the world shut down. You know, we were stuck in the house and I couldn't do anything. So I was just in the house and I was drinking. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was drinking, I was smoking. I was dating this guy at the time who was a chef, and you know, he just kept feeding me. So I got up to 165 pounds. Okay. And as a reference, I'm 128 pounds right now. So that was like a whole 35 pounds extra on me. And I looked pregnant. Like, people thought I was really pregnant. And it was just a lot going on. I'm like trying to figure out where to start. But people thought I was pregnant. I was super overweight. I had the chubby cheeks. My cortisol levels were out of control. I was just very unhealthy. I had alcohol addictions. I had weed addictions. I had nicotine addictions. Like, because all I would do is drink, smoke, and drink and eat. Like, literally, that's all I did. Until later on that next year, 2020. Wait, I'm getting my ears. No, wait, 2 years later. Well, actually, I'm like trying to figure out where to start. Anyways, so 2020, at the end of 2020, I started to work out. Now, mind you, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just in the gym doing stuff. Like, if I showed you the old videos of what I used to do, like, I was just doing stuff, you know, but that's all anybody does anyway. You just do stuff. So, you know, I started working out, not consistently at all, just here, there. Until about 2022, I actually got a stomach issue, like a stomach thing, where, like, it was almost like, I don't know if you guys know, like, the Bible story, the lady with the issue of blood. It was kind of like something like that. It was messed up. It was bad. And I lost a lot of weight. So by 2022, I was already back down to like 110 pounds. And again, addicted to alcohol, addicted to weed, addicted to tobacco, like living a very unhealthy lifestyle. And I'm sure that wasn't helping my stomach condition. So then I was like, you know what? I'm about to seriously start going to the gym. I'm about to change my lifestyle and my health. And I started going to the gym. And I started going consistently this time. Even though still I had no idea what I was doing. I just, you know, I went super late at night because I didn't want people seeing me. Because I was embarrassed, which is fine. Oh my God, my cat is having a fit. 1 second. Okay, so I would advise anybody before you try to be a parent, you need to get a cat. Because, man, these cats is teaching us how to be moms, okay? Because I can't deal with nothing else right now. I can't deal with nothing else extra right now. So anyways, where was I at? I don't know what just happened. But anyway, 2022, and he bit me. 2022, I started working out consistently. I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, this is the main thing too. I was always skinny, but I still had a gut. Like, yeah, and I'll like post pictures or, show you guys the difference. But literally, my stomach was always like out, bulging. And even though I was like, I had skinny limbs, skinny legs, but I just had a gut. And I would wear waist trainers and stuff. And I could not figure out for the life of me, like, why I had a gut, even though I was skinny. It didn't make any sense. So once in 2022, this was at the beginning of 2022, I started working out consistently, and that's when I really fell in love with the gym. I started to understand the gym. I started to enjoy the gym, and I started to see progress. It was small progress, but progress nonetheless. And so that's when I decided, you know what, like, I want to become a personal trainer. Like, I want to do this as a job. Like, I want to help people, train them, blase, blase. So in 2023 is when I got my certification and became a personal trainer. Certified personal trainer. And through the course of me becoming a trainer, I learned a lot about training, but I also was doing my own research, and that's when I learned a lot about the body, digestion, nutrition. I learned about supplements. I learned about, all of the minerals that our bodies are actually made out of and that we need, and that there are a lot of minerals that our body needs that our body doesn't even make. That's the crazy part. So I was educating myself about all those things, and I finally figured out why I had a gut even though I was skinny. It, like, for the longest time, it didn't make sense to me. But what it was I had high cortisol levels. My cortisol was through the roof. And so I had to learn how to heal my cortisol. It's called cortisol belly. And it's when you have a gut, and there's different types of guts and whatever. So basically, a beer belly gut is a perfectly round gut, okay? But a cortisol gut is when it's round at the top, then it's flat, and then it's round at the bottom. And even if I showed you guys pictures and stuff, like, you could clearly see that even though I was skinny, I had rolls when I would sit down. Like, I just had a big gut. And so I had to learn which supplements to take. I had to change my diet. I had to get off the alcohol and all the stuff, that I was on. I had to detox myself. I had to do a lot. I had to just change everything that I was doing and educate myself and learn what I should be doing. Okay? And so through the course of all of that, I was able to heal my gut. But not only that, I don't know what that said, but not only that, I was able to get abs, which I'm like, hey, because guys, I'm almost 40 years old. Okay, I'm 36. I'm about to be 37, and I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 21, 22, 18, even 19. Like, come on, like, what? Come on, like, nah, like, that's crazy. So anyways, my whole mission in life now is to teach people how to get healthy, teach people how to lower their cortisols, teach people how to overcome their addictions, teach people, about diabetes, high blood pressure, all the things. Because I believe in people should have a happy, healthy lifestyle, a whole lifestyle. And there's so many things that contribute to these diseases that so many people have. And honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy how, you know, these foods, hi, it's crazy how these foods can be like legal. It's crazy how these, like, so much stuff. Like, I have so much knowledge and information running through my brain. So I just wanted to be able to, you know, hey, cut it out. So I wanted to be able to, you know, open up the floor to anyone who might have questions, because I know you guys have questions. Because when I started off, I had so many questions, and I literally didn't have no one to ask. Like, I didn't have, I don't know, like, I would watch fitness videos online and stuff, and I would, you know, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, trying to find videos of exercises, but I just didn't know. I didn't know until I did the research for myself. So now that I have all the information, I want to be able to help people and fast track people so they don't have to spend and waste so much time trying to find the answers when I already have the answers. So if you guys, you know, follow my page and you go back like 3 posts, I actually wrote a book on diabetes and what herbs you can use and what activities you can use to naturally relieve the symptoms of diabetes. So that ebook is free, completely free. So if you click the link in my bio, it'll take you to my Stand store, and that's the very first thing on my page is the free ebook. So if you guys have friends, family members, parents, grandparents, like anyone struggling with diabetes, I highly would suggest downloading it, sending it to them, or sharing it with them some kind of way. Because my goal, my mission in life is to help people to not be, or to help people to be disease free. Because I don't know. I hate it. I don't like how people, you know, are living with these sicknesses and stuff. And you guys are probably like, well, okay, dang, that was a mouthful. Like, you see, you're passionate. Like, the reason why I'm so passionate, is because my mother and my stepfather both currently have diabetes. And I know what it's like to be struggling with that disease. You know, I've had to watch them, you know, I had to watch them watch what they eat, do the insulin thing. You know, my mother is really my main motivating force, because her health is so poor. Like, she's literally had cancer, open heart surgery, diabetes. She has high blood pressure. She's had 2 knee surgeries. She just had a lot of stuff. And if I follow the scarlet thread of her life, I can literally see each thing that caused each thing in her life. Because my mom never exercised. Once she got pregnant with my sister, my older sister, like she was like 17, 18, something like that, she never exercised again. So she never exercised. She ate like crap. I'm talking very poorly. And also, she allowed stress to take over her life. So no exercise, poor nutrition, and immense amount of stress, it's terrible for you. It will literally deteriorate your body. Like, so I don't know. That was a mouthful. But I'm opening up the floor. If anyone has any questions about anything, how to lose weight, how to detox, where to start, like, giving you a chance. 'Cause I'm telling you, I know this stuff. And in my lives, you know, this would be the perfect time to ask those questions in case, like, you know, I'm sure there's other people in here too as well that have the same question. You know, but I don't know, maybe people are embarrassed, maybe people don't want to ask the question in front of everybody else, but either way, like, you know, there's no shame in asking a question. There's no stupid question. You know, we don't know what we don't know until we ask. So, oh, I think stuff's happening. I don't know. I don't really go live a lot, so I don't like know what all the whizzing and dinging is, but I appreciate the love. You guys showing me love. I appreciate the love. So I'll just list off like some things that I feel like people would probably ask, but probably don't want to ask. But first thing is, I really want to talk about addictions, because oh my goodness, just smoking in general, like smoking is so it's so detrimental to our health. And I am the person, I was the biggest smoker ever. Like I smoked, it's so crazy. If I tell you guys when I smoked, like, I'm not talking about crack or anything, but but I smoked Black and Milds. I did. I smoked Black and Milds for at least 10 years. Maybe even more. I'm gonna be honest, maybe even more. But at least 10 years I smoked Black and Milds. I literally smoked so much weed. Like, I got up to the point, thank you for all the likes, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. So I smoked so much weed, I got up to smoking like an ounce of weed. It was so much weed, like, it was just so much weed. And what I realized is that smoking weed is a trauma response, and smoking tobacco and nicotine is an anxiety issue. So people smoke weed because they've been traumatized by something and they want to be able to forget or just take their mind off of whatever that thing is. And people smoke tobacco and nicotine because they're anxious about where they are now and the future. So I did both. So yes, I had a lot going on. And you know, I know, like, some people say, like, oh, you can't be addicted to weed. Yes, you can. You can be addicted to weed, but it's not the same type of addiction as it is with, like, other things. But you still can be addicted to it. But I'm not saying that, you know, weed is inherently bad. I'm not saying that. Because, you know, there's been studies that have been shown, you know, there's CBD. CBD comes from the cannabis strain. Like, CBD and THC can help alleviate a lot of illnesses, you know, anxiety, just a lot of things, pains, things like that. Like, it can help you with a lot of things. However, if you are a traumatized individual already and you start with the weed, it can help you physically, but at that same time you can develop a psychological addiction to weed. You can. And that's why I said it's different, because, like, for instance, with nicotine and stuff, it's more of like a physical addiction. Like, your body is literally craving the hit of the nicotine. But with weed, it's more of a psychological. Okay, well, my live is making people uncomfortable. Okay, well, anyways, because, you know, I don't know what it is, but TikTok don't love me no more. I don't know what it is. But before the lawsuit, you know, me and TikTok, we had a thing. Like, we was tight. Like, they was promoting my videos. You know, we were building together. You know, we were getting places. But now, I don't know. Ever since the lawsuit, ever since, whatever. Like, I don't know. TikTok just don't love me no more. They don't want to promote my videos. I get 200 views. Everything I say is violating. Like, bruh, telling the truth now is violating? I don't know. I'm gonna just sit with that for a second. But, so I guess I have to change my topic. So we'll just go back to weight loss. And the one thing I want to say about weight loss is that if you cannot control your diet and your eating, you're not going to get very far. You're not going to get far with your goals. And I know that sounds harsh and it's like, oh my God, I can get far. Like, you cannot outwork a bad diet. So it doesn't matter if you're going to the gym 7 times a week. It doesn't matter if you're there for 4 hours. It doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. It doesn't matter how many calories you burn. It doesn't matter. If you continue to eat poorly, you'll never be able to reach your fitness goals. Okay? You have to be able to get some sort of discipline about yourself and about your eating. So, for instance, when I had that stomach issue, one of the ways that I was trying to heal my gut was I became a vegan. And I was vegan for a year. And let me tell you something. Being vegan will create some discipline in your life. Like, whew, like even just thinking about it right now, you couldn't eat nothing. Like, I remember this one time my mom tried to take me like on this road trip or whatever, and I had to bring like apples and nuts and like I had to bring like a big bag of stuff with me because you literally can't eat anything when you're out. You can't eat anything but French fries. And I was sick of eating French fries like 10 times a day if I was just out and about. But I do encourage everyone who's on their fitness journey to try veganism for at least, if they can. It's all about a matter of self-will, self-control, but anywhere from 3 months to a year. I know most people can't do that. I know. But if you could do it for at least 3 months, it will change your body. And it will literally change your relationship with food. Because yes, we need meats and stuff, but at the same time, taking your body off of those meats is a great way to have your body reset, especially when you're trying to like come back from like an illness or a disease or something like that. It's a great way to reset your body, get you filled with natural nutrients, because fruits and vegetables have the natural nutrients that we need, that we don't get on a daily basis. We can't get from anywhere else. So you need to have your fruits and your vegetables, and that's what it is. And I literally became, oh my God, my sweet potato is sprouting. Okay, perfect. So yes, become a vegan if you can. Also, little tip for you guys is that if you have issues with arthritis, you need to stop eating dairy. You need to take dairy completely out of your diet. And honestly, you really should take dairy out of your diet anyways, because it's not good for us. A lot of things we were taught and told, we should eat. You got to have your milk, vitamin D, da-da-da. Like, a lot of this stuff was just marketing. This was not real nutritional information. It was just stuff that we were, fear-based led into believing that we should have. But you don't need to have. So dairy actually causes, especially a lot of dairy causes what we call lactic acid. Okay. And lactic acid, it gets stored in your joints. It gets stored in your joints. And what happens is when you have too much of it, your joints become more stiff and more weaker in a way. And your body has to flush out the acids in order for you to get back to your full range of motions. But if you keep eating more and more dairy and more and more dairy and more and more dairy, the lactic acid is not going to do anything but keep building up. It's never going to flush out. So at that point, instead of it just being a buildup, now it's becoming a chronic issue. And it's developing from being stiffness to full-blown arthritis. Dairy is the number one causer for arthritis, in case you didn't know. So if you got a bum knee, bum ankle, weak shoulder, whatever, get off that ice cream. You know, like, it's so crazy because it's like once you learn all this stuff and then you hear people's problems, you're like, you already know what the issue is. Like, oh man, I got real bad knee pain. Stop drinking milk. Oh yeah, well I do eat a lot of ice cream and I do eat a lot of cheese, and I already know. Like, I literally already know what it is because that's the only thing it could be. You know, but the craziest part about this whole thing, and who knows, I'll probably get violated again, but hey, it's the truth, whatever. I was just thinking about this the other day, like, why when you go to the hospital, like, they never, ever, ever, ever suggest working out. Literally, like, you could come in there with any issue and they'll be like, okay, take this pill, take this drug, take this syrup, take this, you know, whatever, cough medicine, whatever. Like, they'll give you all kinds of things, but they never, ever, ever tell you to work out. They never tell you to work out. They never tell you to walk. They never tell you to get active. They never tell you nothing. And I thought about that the other day, and that's strange. That's really strange. Because at the end of the day, you heard it here first. Exercise is literally the only way to reverse the aging process. It's not just about looking good. It's not about, you know, flexing in the mirror, whatever. It's not about none of that. Working out is the only thing that will reverse your aging. For every 1 hour you work out, you're adding 3 more hours back to your life. 1 hour workout, you're adding 3 hours of life back to yourself. So if we can add life back to ourselves from working out, why does a doctor not ever suggest working out? Like, really, think about that. Like, have you ever been to the hospital for anything and they've ever told you, get some fresh air, go for a walk, da, da, da? Never. Because they know that the working out, the strength training is really the cure for a lot of things. And they're not really interested in a cure for us. And I don't know, they probably restrict me, whatever. I don't know if you guys abandon my stuff or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. The medical system is not interested in curing us. They don't care about curing us. They care about us coming back. And, you know, call me a rebel or whatever you want to call it, but my mission, I feel like, here on this planet, one of them at least, is to help people cure themselves, heal themselves, so they don't have to keep going back to the hospital and keep on this cycle. Because I'm telling you, growing up with a sick parent in a single family home with a sick parent, you start to learn and understand and recognize and see patterns a lot more. Like when I was coming up, like when I was like in high school, like a freshman in high school, I was actually homeless. My mom and I were homeless. We were living in a car. Like, it was bad because my mom at the time, she couldn't keep a job because she was literally always sick. Like, she literally had always something going on. Like, you know, she had cancer, she had this, she had that. And from a young age, I've always thought, like, my mom's gonna die, like, at any minute. You know, so it was just a stressful thing for me. As well as for her, of course, you know, she's going through it. But I've just been through a lot as far as this health stuff is concerned. And I've seen how, you know, detrimental it really can be on a person's life who just really doesn't value fitness or nutrition or anything like that. So, like I said, I'm trying to help educate people on what they need to do. I cannot wait till this food is done. I am starving. So, that's my story in a nutshell. I know I've rambled, I violated community guidelines somehow. They always violate me. But it is what it is. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to try to talk about how to... I was trying to get to the point of talking about how to get over your addictions, but I can't talk about that. So, weight loss. A lot of these TikTok videos and a lot of these like fitness gurus, influencers and stuff, they always tell you that you have to be in a calorie deficit. And most people don't know what that is. I didn't even know what that was for a long time until I really got into fitness and XYZ. But basically, what they're trying to say with the calorie deficit is that you need to eat less than what your daily intake should be. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because to me, it's not about eating more or less. It's about eating the right things. You should eat more of the right things instead of just anything. And one thing that I did, honestly, strength training is the best way to help you lose weight, because, and this is like a lot of science that I'm going to try to like make it very simple. When you're working out, okay, you're burning fuel, you're burning calories, okay? When you're burning that fuel, in order to keep the fuel, in order to keep working out, in order to keep having the energy, your body is very smart, way smarter than we are at times. So your body goes to its stored fuel resources, per se, to keep continuing being able to give you the energy to work out. Okay, what is the stored fuel that our body has? It's fat. Okay, fat is stored fuel reserves, okay, in our body. So when you're strength training, and when you get your gas, you know, you're on energy, your body will turn back to that fat that's been sitting there and not doing anything for you forever. And it's like, you know what? We're going to put you to work. We're going to burn that fat off, and the fat is going to help us keep the energy to keep being able to, you know, do the task at hand, whether it's deadlifting, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So, most people think that, oh my God, I don't want to work out because I don't want to get all big and buff and like, you know, ma'am, sir, like, do you know how hard it is to get big and buff? Like, that's the least of your worries, okay? So I just want to put your mind to rest that just because you worked out, you threw a couple weights around, you threw a couple plates around, you're not going to get big and bulky. I've been working out for 4 years now, consistently. I'm not big and bulky. Like literally, like it's it's not gonna happen for you like that. I'm glad that you have the confidence that you think it can happen like that, but it's not gonna happen like that. So what's gonna happen is while your body is using your fat, it's burning the fat for energy, but you won't see muscle definition until you're actually tearing muscle. And what that means is that, you know, like you could be in a gym working out and you can, like, let's just say you're 350 and you've been going to the gym consistently and you're burning up your fat, you know, you're losing weight. Let's just say you're 300 or now you're 275 and you're 275, but you're not muscular. Like you don't have definition, but you're losing weight. There's a process. There's an order to operations when it comes to this, you know, lose weight thing. So what has to happen is you lose the weight. You burn the fat first as fuel for your body. Now, once you start doing isolated movements and you start focusing on certain body parts, like for instance, your traps, once you start doing workouts that actually focus on your traps, that's when you tear the specific muscle group. Because at the gym, our muscles don't grow at the gym. Our muscles grow while we rest. That's the first misconception I need everybody to understand. While we're at the gym, we're supposed to be tearing our muscles down. Bust down, Tatiana, bust down. Hey, I want to see you, but yeah, we're supposed to be busting them down. Like, that's what we do at the gym. You have to work hard. You got to sweat. You have to be tired. You got to be burning calories. Like most of the reason why people are not getting to their fitness goals is because they're taking too many breaks or their breaks are too long. You're not supposed to break until your heart rate goes back all the way back down and then you rev it up and then it's back down again. No, we're supposed to be keeping our heart rate in it's a hard word for me to say, but aerobic point to where we're burning calories. If your heart rate is under 135 to 145 beats per minute, you're not burning no calories. You're not burning no fat. You're literally not doing anything. It's just like a car. Just the best way to explain it. It's just like a car, okay? You don't turn your car off every time you get to a red light. Maybe the electric cars do, but not electric cars. We're talking about gas. Stay focused. Stay focused, people. If you have a gasoline car, you don't turn your car off when you get to a red light and then try to crank it back up, you know, when you're ready to go. And then you get to two blocks down the road and then you turn it back off again. And then you crank it up, turn it back. No, that's not effective. That's what people do when they take so many breaks or their breaks are super long in between sets. You're turning the car off. The heat, all the heat, the body heat, the warmth, the heart rate that you built up, you're letting it die down. So then it's just like it's just okay. Better example. Let's just say it's winter time. Right? And you want the car to warm up, but yet you're turning it off at every light. You turn the car off at every light, and then you crank it back on, and you're wondering why the heat's not working. It's because you didn't give it enough time to keep going and being warm and running hot for the heat to work. It's just like that with working out. If you keep taking breaks, you're cooling the car back off. And in order to get the heat back up, you got to build the heat back up again. So your workouts should have a steady flow of heat working out and you burning calories. But we're not trained, like nobody really like teaches us that in the gym. So we just have to like kind of learn through experience. And most people just do what everybody else does anyway. So if they see other people taking a bunch of breaks, then they're going to be taking a bunch of breaks and they're just not going to know, like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. But you know, everybody in the gym has one of these, but they don't use it. If once you build your heart rate up, this watch will tell you if you're in an aerobic state or anaerobic state to where you're burning calories. It'll be like yellow if it's, you know, not high enough, and it'd be like red if it's high enough. That's how you know you're burning calories. That's how you know your heart rate. Like, for instance, when you're asleep or when I'm relaxing, my heart rate will be at about 60 beats per minute. If I'm asleep, it'll probably be like 50 beats per minute. Okay? If I'm just at work and doing regular things, my heart rate is going to be at about 107 beats per minute, maybe 110 if I'm like doing stuff. Now, when I'm stretching, warming up, my heart rate's going to be about 120. But when I'm in the thick of my workout, like really giving it all I got, my heart rate should be about at, and this is for me personally, my heart rate should be at about 145 to 150. That's the red zone. Okay, that's how I know I'm burning them calories. Like, I'm at where I'm supposed to be at. But the thing is, the more you train, the harder it's going to become for you to get your heart rate up, because your body is going to get so used to being under certain stresses that it can actually function with a lower heart rate because it's gotten used to it. Like I said, our bodies are very smart. And one thing that you need to know about our bodies is that there's a principle that our muscles work on. The principle is, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. But just give me a second. I'm gonna think of it. Like, I know what I want to say, but I forget what it's called. But basically, the reason why you don't get all big and bulky your first week of working out is because your muscles and your body is so smart that it uses the least amount of effort and it takes the least amount of space to do a certain task. Okay? So for instance, my triceps are this defined only because I have put the max amount of stress on my triceps to think my triceps need to be this strong. Does that make sense? So if I only, did 10 pounds every single time, my muscles are only going to get as big as they need to get to do 10 pounds. But since I keep adding more weight and I'm ripping the muscles, breaking it down, eating my protein, got my proper nutrition, that's when they get larger. They get larger because they realize in order to do this certain task, we need to get larger and stronger to complete that task. It's like a law of, I can't think of it. But it's basically, they use the smallest amount of muscle effort first and then use bigger muscles as needed. So there's two types of muscle fibers. There's type 1 muscle fibers. Type 1 muscle fibers are me being able to pick up this napkin. Pick it up. Pick it up. Your type 1 muscle fibers, they never run out of energy. They always gonna be able to work. Okay? They never get tired. Like, I could literally do this 100 times. I'm not gonna get tired from doing this. That's a type 1 muscle fiber. Type 2 muscle fibers is something like, doing a squat or doing a reverse lunge. Okay? I can't do this forever. Like, I could probably do this a good, I don't know, I would say about a good 20, 30 times, okay, before I'm just like, I'm getting tired. Because doing this lunge is using larger muscle groups, type 2 muscle groups, type 2 muscle fibers, so they exhaust quicker. Okay? So I know this is a lot of information. It's a lot of information, but it's good information. This is all information you're gonna need if you want to become muscular, if you want to get fit, if you want to lose weight. It's all information that you're gonna need. But like I was saying though, when we go to the gym, our muscles don't get big at the gym. Our muscles tear at the gym. So if you're not working hard enough to tear your muscles at the gym, then you're never going to have definition. Simply put, if you're not doing enough work to tear your muscles at the gym, your muscles will never have definition. You will lose weight. But as far as being ripped, you won't be ripped because there's not enough pressure put on a specific body part in order for it to be defined. Does that make sense? So our muscles rip at the gym, but in order for them to get bigger, we have to have proper nutrition as number one. So we have to be eating enough in order to supply and fuel the muscles that we just ripped. Okay? Because our muscles rip at the gym, but they grow in our sleep. And that's the second reason why people don't see results at the gym. The first reason is they take too many breaks. They're not keeping their heart rate up enough to burn calories, and they're not working hard enough to rip muscle fibers so that when they grow back bigger. So too many breaks, heart rate not up fast enough. Second reason why you're not seeing results at the gym is because you're not eating enough protein. You're not consuming enough protein. Protein is what our muscles need in order to, when they recover, they grow. Okay? Third reason why you're not seeing results at the gym is because you're not getting enough rest. Now, especially when people first start working out, they get very zealous. They're very zealous about going to the gym. They're excited. They're like, they want to go every day. And I'm a trainer. I've seen it. Like, I have clients that are so juiced up and so ready to like lose weight. They're like going twice a day for 7 days a week. And sometimes when people do that, they actually get fatter. Yeah, they actually gain more weight when they're working out too much. It's called overtraining. And that's actually, when you overtrain, that's how you raise your cortisol levels. And I wrote a whole book on cortisol. You can click the link on my bio, get my cortisol book. But basically, cortisol is the stress hormone. Okay? So if you're putting too much stress on your body, then your body goes into fight or flight, and it thinks like, okay, I mean, we've been going through a lot. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if we're going to be in the wilderness or we're going to, be running for our lives. So instead of burning this fat, I'm going to hold on to this fat because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know when we're going to need it, when we're going to eat next and when we're going to whatever. So your body holds on to the fat during the stress instead of burning the fat. So yeah, that's what happens. That's the short stick of why people have high cortisol levels. And that's what I had. I had extremely high cortisol levels. And that's why I had cortisol belly. I was skinny with a gut. until I realized it was not good for me. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So, pop quiz. Pop quiz. What are the 3 reasons why you're not seeing results at the gym? Come on, list them off. Quick now. Quick now. Somebody tell me the 3 reasons why you're not seeing results at the gym, because I just said it. Pop quiz. We're not even listening, just more focused on what I'm making. Three reasons why you're not seeing results at the gym. What are they? Training too hard, or not training, taking too many breaks, not eating enough protein, not getting enough rest. Boom and boom. You're welcome. Yeah, so I just made a video about this. But most people don't realize all the things you really have to learn in order to be a trainer. Most people think like trainers, you know, you just go to abcbeatrainer.com and you take a quiz and boom, you're a trainer. And like, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. Like, nah, fam. Being a trainer, we literally have to learn everything about the body. All your veins, every single muscle in the body, every single bone in the body. Do I remember all those bones? Be honest, no, I don't. But I had to learn it at some point. It's in there somewhere, deep in the archives. It's deep in the archives somewhere. But it's just not on the top of my brain. Oh, it's called the law of recruitment. Hey. I just needed a minute. I needed a minute to remember, but the law of recruitment. Hey. Go Heather. Go Heather. Hey. They always get excited when I dance. Okay. Hey. The law of recruitment. Boom and boom. Google it. It's basically when your body uses the least amount of muscles and the least amount of resources possible to get whatever job accomplished. See, like I said, it's in there somewhere. It's deep. Filed away in the archives. Oh. Watch out. Oh. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, we all had to learn. We all had to figure something out. It's a process. You're not just going to know everything you need to know in one day or 1 week. It takes years to literally unlearn all the things that we never should have known in the first place. I'm going on my rice and I don't like it. Normally I make the perfect rice, but I don't know. I think it's because I was talking too much. My rice got away from me. But also another thing about working out, gaining weight, etc., etc. Meal prepping is your best friend. Because it literally takes the same amount of effort to make one meal as it does 4 or 5 or 6. It's just, you're doing the same exact thing. It's no more effort. It's just a bigger pot, but this wasn't any harder for me to make one dish of this or 3 to 4 dishes of this. Same exact thing. But also meal prepping is kind of one of the only ways you can make sure that you're eating, you know, you're eating enough. Because once you start, what the heck? Okay, boom. So once you start working out, gaining weight, whatever, you're gonna need to eat a lot. Like your biggest, what do you call it? Your biggest expense is gonna be this. It's gonna be food, especially when you're trying to build up your muscles, especially if you're trying to gain weight. You're gonna have to eat a lot. But that's okay. You just have to eat the right things and you'll be fine. I'm putting a guide together about things you should eat, things you shouldn't eat. Also, I'm also going to be putting a keto food guide together. Keto is really good for people who are diagnosed with diabetes. And basically keto is just, you can't eat carbs because basically all carbs are sugar. And so therefore, you know, raising your insulin levels. So I'm gonna put a keto guide together. I'm gonna put a regular nutrition guide together. Like I said, I started an online gym community. I wrote a couple ebooks. I wrote an ebook on how to lower your cortisol levels. I wrote an ebook on diabetes. I wrote an ebook on vitamins and supplements, the benefits, which ones you should take, why you should take, when you should take it. So all of those resources are in the link in my bio, in my stand store. I want you guys to go check it out. And if you have any questions or concerns about anything, feel free to reach out. I think you can contact me through there or also on here. Whatever the case may be, I'm just totally focused on trying to help people heal. I know I said it like 50,000 times, but I'll say it again. I want people to have healthy, healed lives, and that's why I do all this stuff. I do all this stuff to help people get over diseases, to help people live whole lives where they don't have to take medications, they don't have to take insulin. Like, that's my goal. That's my dream, is that everyone can be so healthy they don't have to live with all these, all these illnesses. Because a lot of our illnesses come from not working out, poor diet, and stress. Literally. So, I don't know, I've been on here for a minute. I'm gonna get off, finish my meal prep, fix my rice, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.